Hello, everybody. I hope I'm being heard. I hope I'm being felt. Felt in the eyes and heart of the people everywhere, because today is the start of something new. Hopefully, the start of something great. The jury's still out on whether it will reach greatness or not, but I am wishing for the best. I know that no matter what, this will be fun. Because, ladies and gents, and thems, today is the first Fortnite Pacifism Storytime read-along. I just made up that title as I was saying it, so don't expect that title to be the actual title of this. Quite frankly, I have no actual idea how this is going to be. I really don't. But I'm looking forward to it because I have a great book selected for this first session. You see, there's this book I ran into at my local library that just stuck out to me. It has a kind of bright banana-ish yellow sleeve, and in black text it reads, "Rental Person Who Does Nothing. A Memoir." And that title, it hooked me. So I picked it up and took it with me, checked it out with three or four other books, and I haven't read it. This thing is at least 2 to 3 months overdue. I think I got a notice about a week ago saying that the library has reported it as missing and is expecting me to pay the fee in terms of replacing it. And I've really been wanting to read this book, but I haven't given myself the time. Notice, I didn't say I haven't had the time. I hadn't given myself the time. Because there has been plenty of opportunities where I could have sat down and said, I'm going to read this book. Let me read this book. Let's read this book right now. But I didn't. And I was been wanting to stream more. I've been wanting to stream more. And I found myself in a very similar situation where it wasn't that I didn't have time to stream, it was that I wasn't giving myself the time to stream. And so when I started doing both of those things, giving myself time to read, giving myself time to stream, it occurred to me that I could maybe be far more optimal if I were able to achieve both of those things at the same time. And that's really where this idea came into fruition. That's really where I got pregnant with this delicious idea, and we could say that today is the birth. I really allowed myself to say that, but here's what we're going to be doing, chat. If it isn't obvious, I'm going to be continuing my ranked pacifism grind on Fortnite. Look, I switched to controller. Figured it might be a little easier to manage everything. Oh. We're going to be continuing that grind, and we're going to be reading. That's about it. So, A Rental Person Who Does Nothing, a memoir by Shoji Morimoto. That's good. I only read the title and I already need to clear my throat. Forward. Twitterbird at Morimoto. Oh god. Twitterbird at Morimoto Soji. I'm starting a service called Do Nothing Rental. It's available for any situation in which all you want is a person to be there. Maybe there's a restaurant you want to go to, but you feel awkward going on your own. Maybe a game you want to play, but you're one person short. Or perhaps you'd like someone to keep a space in the park for your cherry blossom viewing party. I only charge transport and the cost of food or drink if applicable. I can't do anything except give very simple responses. With this tweet, I became Rental Person, a rental person who does nothing. At the time, I had 300 followers. 10 months later, 10 months later, I had 100,000. The number of requests has grown too, and now I get a steady flow of about 3 a day. I find it utterly amazing. Why on earth has it happened? When I started the service, I thought it might be interesting, but I never imagined it would result in a book, a manga, or TV programs. And when I try to hide my surprise, people started talking about my aura, as though I am some kind of star. Readers must find it bizarre. Nobody could have predicted this reaction. After all, I do nothing. I am the type that people get cross with. At home, at work, at a barbecue. Why should a person like that be in demand? This book is an attempt... Let me deploy my glider. This book is an attempt to answer that question. If it was written simply by me, I think it would be too subjective. I'm very confused about what's happened, and, on my own, I'd find it tough to come up with a convincing book. So we tried an experiment. A writer and an editor asked me questions, and I gave them very simple responses. And through that process, we tried to find an answer. The writer, S, is not a particular fan of Rental Person. He has written objectively, and in a way that people who don't know anything about my activities can get a clear picture. So, with that as my excuse, I have, as usual, done nothing. I have simply watched, with interest and surprise, as this book was developed. Scrolling to the next page. Okay, actually, so that was a foreword. I'm going to put my bookmark in there, and I'm going to go somewhere where I'm not going to be shot out of the sky. There we go. Here's to not being shot out of the sky. I think one of these trees will do nicely. I want it to be a little high up, but not one where I could die to fall damage, you know? I think, ooh, this is a good tree right here. Okay. We can hear gunfire, the sound of boss music. I don't know if I have my game audio turned up high enough to where you can hear the boss music, but if you cannot, it's there. This is good as an environment as any to begin the book. Okay, so the opening of the foreword was a tweet, right? And I displayed that by saying Twitterbird at Morimoto. Oh, see, I said it wrong there too. Morimoto Shoji. Now this next part, it opens with an open envelope, insinuating a sort of message. I want to taste a Starbucks Hojicha Frappuccino. I probably said something wrong, my apologies. I like sweet things, normally, and I've heard that it isn't that sweet, but I'd still like to try it. I don't think I'd be able to drink it all, so would you share it with me? I wouldn't like to leave any. Followed by a Twitter bird at Morimoto Shoji. I liked this request. It was simple, sincere, and a bit sentimental. The client suggested we meet on a weekday, a sunny one, because rain would be a nuisance. That was nice. But I also liked the fact that in the end it poured. Why did I start this do-nothing rental service? One reason was the idea of payment for being, which I saw in a blog written by health counselor Jinosuke Kokoria. Kokoria. See, this is... When I thought of selecting this book, one of the first things I realized was going to be an issue was just the fact that I am terrible at saying words. If I don't already have a pre-existing knowledge of how to say a word, I'm going to do a terrible job at inferring how I'm supposed to say it. This is an issue I have in my own native tongue. Speaking United States of America English. I'm sorry to report that when moving that difficulty over to that of a foreign language, much less a foreign name, that issue only is more apparent. So the question becomes, how do I tackle this issue? And I think how I'm going to tackle this issue is to treat it as a learning opportunity. What we're going to do is I'm going to type in that name, and I'm going to see how the internet tells me to pronounce it. Janosuke. Okay. Janosuke. So, the internet is not telling me how to pronounce the last name. There's DIY. Then there's doing. Now I'm getting an ad. Kokoro. Kokoria. So, Janosuke Kokoria. Apparently Kokoria, when it was not telling me how to pronounce it, it was telling me that it stands for Heart of the Home. That's cool. But let's start from the top. Why did I start this do nothing rental service? One reason was the idea of payment for being, which I saw in a blog written by health counselor Janosuke Kokoria. My wife follows this blog, and I happened to notice that particular expression on her screen. I'd never really thought much of Kokoria. His solutions always seemed too easy. But some of his sayings struck a chord with me, and payment for being was one of those. Essentially, pay is... Uh-oh. Guys, it looks like someone's trying to murder me. They found me! I'm all tapped! I'm all tapped! Get me out of here! Okay. Good to know that I cannot... Where is this? Oh my god. I'm gonna die from fall damage now. I won't. Oh, that's huge. See, this is where some of the fun... This is where some of the fun's gonna come in. Because I'm gonna have to actively play the game. Oh wait, I actually have a... Okay. I actually have a mission. Whoa, look at that. That's huge. Okay. Oh, health kit. Sweet. Okay. I think I'm gonna go take residence in that bush directly in front of me. All right. Ahem. Ahem. My wife follows this blog, and I happen to notice that particular expression on her screen. I've never really thought much of Kokoria. His solutions always seemed too easy, but some of his sayings struck a chord with me, and payment for being was one of those. Essentially, pay is given for work. It's exchanged for something being done. But Kokoria argues that people should be paid for just being there, that people have a value even if they do nothing. The idea didn't hit me that forcibly at first, but it sounded interesting. It slipped into a corner of my brain and took root. I began to wonder if payment for being might be a real possibility. Not long afterward, I heard about Okay. Here we are, chat. Gonna Google another word. Ogre. Yeah, maybe I should have started with a kid's book. Maybe not started with a memoir full of foreign names that I have. Whew. Yikes. Oh no. Agarania. No, that's a different word. What? Alright, chat, we're just gonna have to rock with it. Not long afterward, I heard about Pro Ogreria, the professional guest, a man whose job is having meals with people. He has no fixed address, he just asks people on Twitter to give him food and somewhere to go stay. Of the offers he gets, he chooses the ones that look most appealing. People criticize his way of life. They get angry that he doesn't get a job and feed himself, or they laugh at him saying he's just a gigolo. But I thought it sounded like a great way to live. Here was someone being paid for just being. Proof that it was possible. In that moment, something that had been hidden inside me sprang to life. A wish to live without doing anything. I thought about what Pro Orgaria had done. Or rather, I practically copied his ideas. And before long, my do-nothing service was up and running. Okay, now we're going to take a briefer mission here to run into the storm, which I have to tab back into my game and do. Now, one issue I'm seeing with this format is that if I were to read something digitally, I could just continue to have it open on my monitor. But I am reading a small, slim, hardcover book that I can't just keep open on the right page by leaving open on my desk. So, to be able to actually succeed and not die, I'm having to close the book by putting a bookmark in it, place it down on my desk, grab my controller and or keyboard, and then play the game from there. Adding a lot of time between switching to the two things, which both leads a lot of dead air and also leaves me susceptible to attacks. Now I've reached top 5, so that's good. I will be getting my placement points here. We'll sit in the passenger. I will be getting my placement points. And this match has really flown by. I've really done absolutely nothing, and I've made it into the top 5. Okay, closing my book again, because I need to get into the storm. I hope anybody who's genuinely watching this is absolutely riveted by the gameplay going on right now. There seems to be a lot of people fishing this session, this match, this round of Royale. A chud. We'll chill here. Okay, wait. There we go. Epic. Now we've made top 4. Reopening my book, removing the check mark, bookmark, whatever you wish to call it. People criticize his way of life. They get angry that he doesn't get a job and feed himself. Or they laugh at him, saying he's just a gigolo. But I thought it sounded like a great way to live. Here was someone being paid just for being. Proof that it was possible. In that moment, something had been hidden inside me, had sprang to life. A wish to live without doing anything at all. I thought about what Pro Ograria had done, or rather, I practically copied his ideas. Before long, my do-nothing service was up and running. Things can be different simply because someone is there. They don't have to be there, but if they are, something changes. In this chapter, I want to think about some of the requests I've had to just be there. Going to a restaurant with someone who doesn't feel comfortable, going on their own, watching a drama rehearsal, sitting with someone while they work, watching someone doing household chores. How do such situations change when a person is rented out simply to be there? Alright, putting down my book. Okay, switching to the driver's seat. Don't read and drive. Don't read and drive, chat. That's why I'm always changing to the passenger seat to maintain optimal Fortnite safety. Please, please, chat. Don't read and drive. Okay. I'm telling the meme out there's someone over there. Oh, well, that someone knows that I'm someone and that I am there. Okay, we're just gonna get out. Okay, I hear their footsteps. They want me dead, chat. Quite frankly, they want me dead. I don't want that bush, it's too obvious. Yes, there's a mighty bush, capable of holding me safely. Or I could push. Yes, yes, yes. Oh shit. I forgot. It's been so long since I played on controller. Chat, would this be funny? Alright. Returning to my book. The following, once again, we see this opened envelope representing a message. I'd like you to think of me sometime tomorrow or the next day. Just say to yourself, is she okay? Or something like that. Think of it as support for a newly employed graduate who's had their day off canceled. There's no very strong reason for this request. I was feeling tired, and it kind of just came into my head. Twitterbird followed by @Morimoti. My apologies. Morimoto Shoji. A request from someone who wanted me to think of them for a moment over the next couple of days. I read the request again and again, because I wasn't sure I understood it. But I accepted it on the assumption that it really was just a matter of thinking of her. I let her know later that I had done so, and in her reply she said that it had an effect, a response that provided both relief and a degree of worry. Okay, putting down my book. Grabbing my controller. You know, these moments where I am playing the game, they could be opportunity for me to comment or reflect. You know, transform the work that I'm reading into a statement of my own regard. I'll have to think about that. Before I became a rental person who does nothing, I did, of course, do something. I'll talk more about it later, but for now, I'll just give a brief CV. I don't know what it means by a CV. I'll give a brief CV. I studied science to postgraduate level and then joined a company that published educational materials and provided distance learning services. I left after a few years and started calling myself a freelance writer. I'd been freelance for 2 years when I came across Coca Cola's payment for being idea. By that stage, I wasn't actually doing much writing. I had no respectable reason for this. It was a question of the work being boring and the pay unattractive. The expression freelance writer covers quite a wide spectrum, including advertising, copywriters, anonymous magazine, and website writers, columnists who write under their own name, and so on. What they have in common is that they make their living through fee based writing. Okay, putting down the book. I'm about to be brutally murdered. Thanks for the kick. Ooh, that one hurt. Okay, down to the bottom 3. If I can make it to second place, that would be great. Yo, chill, chill, chill. We're friends. One of them dies. Okay. I'm going to offer him the power of positivity. Ugh! Come on. Friendship. Friendship. Oh. Oh, skiing? Goodbye. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that why we do what we do? Isn't that why we do what we do? Ooh, plus 43%. You'll love to see it. All right. The expression free rant. All right, you know what? Since this is like an in between matches session, I think what I'll typically try to do when I switch between the game and this, the book, I think I might try to back up a little bit, if only for the sake of trying refreshing both where we're at for myself and for those of you in the chat. So, backing up here, the expression freelance writer covers quite a wide spectrum, including advertising copywriters, anonymous magazine and website writers, columnists who write under their own name, and so on. What they have in common is that they make their living through the fee-based writing. My main freelance work was similar to what I had been doing at the company, writing questions for practice test books and explanations for reference books. Besides that, I wrote copy for business pamphlets and summaries of interviews. At first, I just got on and did the work without thinking much about it, but I gradually began to realize how dull it truly was. I couldn't dissuade myself from feeling that I was doing something that I simply didn't want to do. The job of writing had become stressful. Of course, the amount of money people are paid for work, in my case writing fees, depends on the market, and no account is taken of the stress involved. This didn't feel right to me. It seemed unfair that people who wanted to do the work and didn't feel at all stressed by it got paid the same as people who didn't want to do it, and did feel stressed by it. It seemed wrong that I was getting nothing for the mental burden the work was giving me. I can imagine people muttering to themselves, well, there's no such thing as an easy job, and I fully appreciate that there's nothing unusual about work stress. But even so, the situation really bothered me. Some people may wonder, why not look for another job? That's exactly what I'd been thinking when I left the company. I decided to go freelance and only take the jobs I wanted, writing about things that interest me and interviewing people I wanted to interview. But it ended up feeling repetitive. You accept one assignment, and you end up doing a series on the same subject, or you are asked to do something very similar for another company in the same field. People are always looking for a good result to be repeated. I found it depressing. I didn't enjoy writing like that. It was stressful to have to meet expectations. For example, when a company wants exam practice questions, they're looking for a certain standard with delivery by a certain date. If I managed to meet those expectations, then I was likely to get similar work with the equivalent of higher... Deploying glider. Gotta reset myself here. If I managed to meet those expectations, then I was likely to get similar work with the equivalent or higher levels of expectation. They might say, make the explanations briefer this time, or how about adding some hints for the students? Having these external pressures was bad enough, but there was something inside too. I like to feel my work is fresh and meaningful, so rather than just rehashing old questions, I always try to think of new material. Unfortunately though, I'm not that creative, and I soon ran out of ideas, which meant I had to do research. I got no pay for this research, but I felt I had to do it, nonetheless. This stressed me out even more. Stress that I wasn't paid for. Inevitably, there are times when you end up with more stress than pay. That's when I don't want to do the work, and that's the reason I've given up all the jobs I've ever had. Alright, now's a good time to just take a moment, put my book down, and try and find somewhere to go. So far, I can't say if this has been an entertaining stream. I can't say if this will make an entertaining recap video on YouTube or whatever, but what I can say is that I'm having fun, and I feel like I'm actually, I'm invested in this book, even if it is for brief paragraphs at a time before I have to go do something else. So that's nice, isn't it? I think what I'm going to do is that there's that abandoned Winterfest cabin and the weird Mariah Carey dance spot that I also think is empty now. Maybe it's not. Maybe she's still there, lurking, waiting for her opportune time to strike back with Fantasy by Mariah Carey. That's probably my favorite Mariah Carey track. Ooh, someone has been here. Great, great. Someone's still here? I hope not. Alright. Just beanbag it up. A lot of people are friendly. They'll let me be, even if they come in here and see me. Alright. The following is an envelope opened suggesting a message. Hey, rental person. I'd like to go and sit in the park in the evening breeze with a can of Chew high, but I think I'd look a bit odd drinking on my own. Would you mind coming along? Twitterbird followed by at Morimoto Shoji. I accepted this request last night and was given a lot to drink. Summer, nighttime, a park, alcohol. It was a powerful mix. I got pretty drunk, and I haven't quite recovered. I'm supposed to meet some people today, including a YouTuber I retweeted. I'm sorry if things don't go to plan. Without abandoning my freelance work, I started a blog. I thought that with a blog, let me move my mic a little closer to me. It was kind of tilted away. I moved it with my book. I thought that with a blog, I'd be able to write what I wanted, and maybe I'd stick at it. But I grew short of material and didn't really want to spend my life hunting up stuff to write on a blog. I told myself to be a grown up and stick to something. But the stress always got too much. I tried to alleviate it somehow, but that never really worked. I was in a repetitive cycle of trying to do something and ended up doing nothing. Eventually, I began to realize that doing nothing was what suited me best. By this stage, I was hardly writing at all. So, how did I make ends meet? The answer is, I was doing some financial trading. It looked like an easier way of making money than writing, and I did have a bit of success. I suppose at the time, I was looking for ways to live without doing anything. I don't do any trading now, and looking back on it, I realized that it was pure luck that I made any money that way. If I'd continue, I'm sure I would have lost a lot of money somewhere down the line. Or maybe I'd just have got fed up and chucked it in. I don't ever get fed up with my do nothing role, and there's no stress. Why? I could come up with several answers to that, but the simplest one is that there's variety. The people in the situations are different every time. It's like watching TV. A lot of people find TV boring, but I like it. Though we don't have one. You can just... Okay, breaking the narrator role here. I think he's referring to, like, he doesn't have a TV. I think the way I read it may have kind of disrupted the flow there. A lot of people find TV boring, but I like it, though we don't have one. You could just sit around doing nothing while the TV churns out entertainment, news, and commercials. I find it gives me just about the right degree of stimulus. Do nothing rental gives me a similar kind of passive entertainment, even though in this case I'm the service provider rather than the service user. An envelope containing an open message. I've dropped I've dropped a bit of washing in its hanger from my flat to the flat below. When I first moved to this building, I got a lot of complaints via the property manager about children running about, and the neighbor often came up to complain in person. I addressed the situation each time, and I haven't had a complaint for about 6 months. Even so, I'm nervous about going to get the washing and wondering if you would come with me. Request to come and stand behind me while I ask for my washing bag, then listen to me talk about it afterward in my apartment. Twitterbird at Morimoto Shoji. The client had frequent trouble with the tenant downstairs and didn't feel safe meeting them alone. They had no one else to ask on that day, so they contacted me. The washing was retrieved, but the situation remains awkward and the client still feels scared. Both my writing work and my blog had become dull and routine. There was no easy fix. I found it very difficult, even impossible, to find the variety, the new stimuli, that I wanted. But now, stimuli and variety are provided by others. It's very easy. I leaped blindly into this do-nothing service. I didn't know what would happen, but I had a feeling it might lead to interesting things. And that's the way it turned out. Did I have any resistance to spending long periods of time with people I didn't know? The simple answer is no. When I was a freelance writer, I used to attend what we called a philosophy cafe. About 10 people who didn't know each other got together for 2 hours to discuss serious questions like what is freedom, what is love, and can violence be justified in the name of justice? I enjoyed it. I used to hate talking to people at school or in the company. People who were part of the same fixed community. But when I went along to the philosophy cafe, I found myself talking readily with people I didn't know. I felt comfortable in a community that existed just for the moment, with the simple, temporary relationships uncomplicated by the past and or future. Opened envelope representing a message. I split up with my boyfriend last year. I really liked him, and I'm not completely over him. On the 13th, it would be exactly a year since he was unfaithful to me. That was why we split up. I don't have the confidence to spend the day on my own, but I think it would be too much to drag out a friend on a Monday night. I wondered if you would mind going for a drink or something. Twitterbird at Morimoto Shoji. We went to a nice Italian place in Shibuya. If this was a late night TV drama, you might have expected some kind of romantic development. As it was, we had a bit of pizza and went our separate ways. People tend to think that personal matters should be spoken about with those who are close friends, lovers, or family members. But since starting this do nothing service, I've learned that there are a lot of important things that can be talked about with people you don't know very well or even at all. Depth of discussion and depth of relationship don't always go hand in hand. The fact that you're very close to someone doesn't mean you can necessarily open up to them. In truth, closeness quite often makes people keep their mouths shut. I get a surprising number of requests to listen to people. I've been told secrets of a very personal and serious nature. They left me wondering, why me? A complete and utter stranger. The way I see it, talking to someone about one's troubles means showing that person one's weaknesses. So if I consulted I knew well, someone with whom a relationship has developed through time and who will probably be a part of my life in the future, that person would always know my weaknesses. If the relationship remains positive, then that may be okay, but relationships can deteriorate. And if this one does, then the person's knowledge of my weaknesses could put me at a disadvantage. They could reveal them to others without me having the slightest idea. This could cause real problems. As a rental person, I have only the flimsiest connection with my clients. I am practically transparent. Unless they make another request, we'll probably never meet again. They have a story that they have to tell, and it's my rule to be there while they tell it. In one of Aesop's fables, a character longs to tell a secret, and so tells it to the reeds. I'm just there, like those reeds. I may describe the situation on Twitter, but I never give details that would allow the clients to be identified. So there's a very little chance of any weakness they reveal to me becoming something known to others. Another reason why people ask me to listen to them, let me wiggle my stick here. I don't want to get idle banned or whatever. Another reason why, okay. I'm fumbling on my words, speaking a little too much, getting a little narratively overwhelmed. And so now's a good time as any to rotate to the next storm circle. I don't have any items, so I'm just gonna have to hope I don't get shot. And there's a body there. You know, I think there's some truth being spoken with what Shoji says about, like, the idea of that fear for the future. Like, that sort of, like, oh, revealing your weakness. Like, I actually think that speaks to, like, a certain truth that we as people can have talking to the people we care about. And I know saying it in this spot while I'm, you know, moving forward at a brisk pace, it kind of maybe it just feels like I'm trying to fill the air. Like a React streamer who's just sitting there, he watched a funny meme and he goes, "Oh, that's funny!" But, like, I do genuinely I do genuinely see that. Like, I can, like, I feel what he's talking about, and, like, that service that he's saying he's providing. Like, I think there's a certain, oh, hi. Hey, at least I got 10. At least I got 10, chat. Maybe I move in the gold here? Maybe, perhaps. That'd be great. Yeah, you see that little glow there? That means we're ranking up. Oh! Damn, I got a lot. All right. I do think there is like some truth to what he's saying, and I'm even more interested in if he's recognizing his place, his role that he's filling, and he's like there's sort of that sort of vulnerability and depth to the discussion this early into the book. I'm very curious to see where this goes because we're on page 26 and this is like almost a 200 page book. Yeah, I think it's like 185 and then there's like an afterword. So we're just over a tenth into the book here, and I feel like there's a lot that I feel like I'm gaining in sort of knowledge and perspective. And I'm using a lot of big words, like I'm trying to sound pushy or like try and create this, like really trying. I'm afraid of coming off like I'm trying to overhype or overanalyze or over exaggerate, like the knowledge that I like the beauty of this book. But it's true. Like I do genuinely feel these things, and I am enjoying this book on a personal level right now. It has been. I'm glad to finally be sitting down and reading this book. You know, I'm glad to be taking those first steps because, like, you know, sometimes you want to read something, sometimes you want to do something, sometimes you want to go somewhere, and the hardest part is sitting down and like actually going doing it. And which I guess in that case it wouldn't be sitting down and going doing it. It would be getting up and going doing it. In this case, it's sitting down and doing it because I'm reading a book. And I'm really enjoying this. I can definitely there's been a few times where I am talking a little too fast, reading a little too fast, getting a little caught up in everything. But I just need to slow down and appreciate it. So I'm going to take a moment and just kind of relax. Just drink some water. You know, one thing when you read an audiobook, when you hear an audiobook, you know, it's not usually done live in one take. Usually if you mess something up, you go back and you restart because it's impossible to be perfect in one take. It really is. You can get pretty close. You can be pretty successful, but it's impossible. Realistically, it's impossible. And, you know, even if it's impossible for me to be perfect, I need to make sure that I'm not rushing myself. And I'm allowing myself a few seconds to breathe now and then. Okay. Whew. I will say, this is like taxable. Like, this is draining. Like, reading a book in itself, I would say, like, it can be pretty draining, like, energy-wise, mentality. But when you start reading it, when you start performing it, because I'm simultaneously trying to entertain myself and be the entertainer here. And what it does is that I have to find my own enjoyment and everything, but I have to make sure that I'm doing it in a way where it is still providing entertainment for all of you guys. Doing that, whew, 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 baby. Probably not going to be finishing the book tonight. Like, you know, I'm surprised that we're on page 26. Like, if you told me that, like, before this stream, before everything, if you told me that, hey, you know, you're gonna get to page 20 and then be really tired, then get off and go VC with friends, I would have been like, yeah, that sounds about right. So, to already have been on page 26 at this point, I'm pretty impressed. Especially, you know, we're not even an hour into the stream. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. I think I like that tree. You see it? That tree in the middle of the lake? I like that one. I think that one would be a good spot. Oh, I could go under the bridge, actually. Let's go under the bridge. Although I'm not going to trigger that enemy, am I? Nah. I thought there was a bridge here. Oh, it's... I'm a silly goose. Can I get under the waterfall? Dang it. Maybe this can give me a blade. At least I can reload my weapons faster. I'm sure going to be needing to do that. You think I'm safe under here? Under the bridge? I sure hope so. Okay. I get a surprising number of requests to listen to people. I've been told secrets of a very personal and serious nature. They left me wondering, why me? A complete and utter stranger. The way I see it... Oh, well, I actually, that's a little bit too much of a backtrack there. I'm going to skip forward a bit, my apologies. Another reason why people ask me to listen to them seems to be that I don't give advice. One of my clients told me they hated it when people responded with unsolicited advice. They didn't like to feel that what they said was being evaluated. Even positive responses like great or that's interesting could put pressure on them. I think I share that kind of feeling. If I tell someone something, I don't like it when they say things like, oh, that's okay, it's nothing to worry about. How can they judge whether it's okay or not? They don't have complete information. I've only told them part of what I'm feeling. I've only put part of it into words. It's not possible to give a completely accurate picture of what one is feeling inside. Don't judge me, I want to say. You don't know anything about me. Of course, I know they're well-intentioned and that I'm being very unfair, but that doesn't stop me thinking the way I do. It just makes me feel guilty about it. And because people have good intentions, it would be very awkward if I gave any indication of what was going through my mind. This all makes me want to avoid ever talking to people about my problems. So when I listen to clients, I try not to evaluate at all. I just nod and say something along the lines of, uh-huh, or I see. Fortunately, not many people who want to be listened to ask me for advice. Occasionally, though, people do ask to consult me about relationships. For example, when that happens, I explain in advance that I can't offer any advice. Advising would be doing something. But if they aren't satisfied with me just listening to them talk, then that's okay. I'll talk more about listening requests later on. Oh, I can see somebody jumping towards the ship there. Do you think they see me? Do you think I'm going to get sniped in the head? I think this do-nothing service can have a catalyst effect. A catalyst is a substance that speeds up a chemical process without undergoing any change itself. Manganese dioxide is often given as an example. If you add manganese dioxide to hydrogen peroxide... Uh-oh. Bad, I'm about to run. I think I'm good. I don't think they see me. I think I'm good, Chad. There's another person down there. Okay. Uh-oh. I'm gonna be honest. My bookmark, when I've been closing my book, is a receipt. And that receipt has a sort of adhesive sticker at the top. I accidentally got the sticker stuck on the book, and I started to be worried for a second that I was going to damage it. But luckily, nothing came with that concern. Okay. I think this do-nothing service can often have a catalyst effect. A catalyst is a substance which speeds up a chemical process without undergoing any change itself. Manganese, magnet, it's Manganese, and I don't like my first thought is magnesium, but it's manga. It's like manga, like it's spelled like manga. It's like manganese dioxide is often given as an example. If you add manganese dioxide to hydrogen peroxide, you will produce a lot of oxygen. I know it is not pronounced manganese. That sounds so. That sounds like someone being clueless, someone being idiotic. But don't. I don't want to completely shut everything down to figure that out right now. The hydrogen peroxide will gradually give off oxygen anyway, but adding manganese dioxide speeds the process up. Having someone with you can have a similar effect. You, hydrogen peroxide, may take 10 units of energy to do something on your own, but with someone else there, manganese dioxide, you may be able to achieve the same result with just 4 or 5 units of energy. Going into a restaurant, doing your job, or housework and so on, these are things that can be done on your own, but people may have difficulty getting going. Do Nothing Rental can be a catalyst that helps people get on with things. Alright. Time to move in the storm. Yeah, no, talking about like having people there as like a sort of catalyst. That's a great way of putting it, because I'm also someone who it feels like I can accomplish a lot more if I have company, whether that be in a VC or whether that be on a stream. You know, maybe I could feel more compelled to read when there's other people that I'm reading to. Perhaps, maybe, just as, you know, just a thought. Yeah. There's a lot of depth going on in this book about a service that is about somebody doing nothing, you know? And that's great. I love that. I really do. It's awesome. Okay. I will search this room. Maybe there's some sort of healing or utility item. I don't want to spend too much time on the game, but I also don't want to set myself up for failure. Also gives me a break from the book. Maybe I should go try and get to... Look at it. It's reacting to my skin. It's like reacting to my dance. Yeah, yeah. I don't think this person's currently with us. I think I'll take this car. I like the cars when I'm trying to be a pacifist, mainly because they can kind of act like a shield, almost. Like, I can kind of just go to wherever I want, stop the car, and then, you know, they have to either crack through the windows or they hit the car itself, and it gives me time to react. It gives me time to have a bit of a shield. I actually think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get that car on that little, by those 2 trees. I feel like that's a very unintrusive spot. I don't think people will naturally be going there. And I can kind of just make the car look like it was abandoned, like maybe it fell off. Oh, there's a zip line there. Okay, never mind. I should have known better. Now this spot. Yeah, I don't think that's too noticeable. I think it's interesting at the very least. Occasionally, though, people do ask to consult me. Oh shit, I lost track. Occasionally, though, people do ask to consult me about relationships, for example. When that happens, I explain in advance that I can't offer any advice. Advising would be doing something. But if they are satisfied with me just listening to them talk, then that's okay. I'll talk more about listening requests later on. I think this do-nothing service can often have a catalyst effect. The catalyst effect is a substance which speeds up a chemical process, without undergoing any change itself. See, I keep backtracking a little too much. I need to iron this kink out. Having someone with you can have a similar effect. Okay, see, I'm doing it again. Going into a restaurant, doing your job or housework and so on, these are things that can be done on your own, but people may have difficulty getting going. Do nothing rental can be a catalyst that helps people get on with things. Another accompanying type of request, similar to going to a restaurant, is going to an event. If it's something that like an all-standing concert, I may not be with the client the whole time. We go in together, but after that we may act independently. But even then, I think the arrangement to go with rental person has acted like a catalyst, reducing the amount of energy the client uses to achieve their goal. Here's an example that highlights the catalyst effect. An open envelope representing a message. Happy New Year! I'm doing Good Morning Tokyo on January 4th, and I wondered if you might be free to come along. It's the same place as last time. In Inokashira Park, 8:30 to 9. I'm planning something special to celebrate the start of the year. Twitterbird at Morimoto Shoji. Today I've been to Inokashira Park to watch a woman dressed as a boar greet people as they walked past. I was not ready for that. The client often does this kind of thing, spending a while in the park before going to work, dancing about and saying good morning to passerbys. She makes her own costumes, and when I saw her before, she was dressed as something else. Her message the first time said, basically, I do this on my own, but I thought it might be fun if you were there in front of me. Then she added, I figured you must be odd like me, so I thought it would be interesting to meet. Anyway, I went and watched her again, and when she'd finished, she said, I'm not embarrassed to dress as a boar, but I do feel a bit lonely performing like that, and I have to keep myself going. It's easier to do if there's someone with me. Mind you, there was a TV crew there at the time, and this comment was actually directed at the camera. With these accompanying and watching requests, my role is really, of course, just to be there, I say, watching, but that doesn't mean my eyes are always on the client. I may be looking at something else entirely. The clients accept this. All right. Let me drive my vehicle. Oh. Okay. I make that mistake a lot. I'm going to continue making that mistake. You know, I like going into passenger to make sure that I'm not reading and driving. Chud! Chud! Come here, Chud! Chud, 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 Chud! Chud, 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 Chud! Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Alright. Sorry. I like having a Chud. He's great. I like staying in the passenger while I'm reading, not only for the previously mentioned making sure not to read and drive, as that is a dangerous activity, but also because it kills the engine. So, like, the noise of someone in the car is less obvious because the engine's not running. Ooh, gas station? Bird. As you can see, I have not been there. Oh, look, someone else is coming. Maybe we can be friends. I will say, part of the reason why I chose this book as part of, like, my first reading for what this could potentially be a series, it could potentially not. Part of the reason why I chose this book is that the idea of who does nothing, I felt like it was quite fitting for, oh, it's the car meet guys. I feel like it was quite fitting for, damn, they got cooler cars than me. I think that's the Snoop's Cadillac, and then that's whatever car that is. I'm gonna get going. Ow! That's not nice. Ooh, little property damage. I thought this idea of someone trying to accomplish something with the act of nothing, I felt like that was kind of a fitting, like it was hitting similar notes to what I wanted to do in these streams, combined with the fact that this was just a book I wanted to read. Can I just... Okay, well, I fell on that front. Surely I don't get attacked while trying to board a bunker's huge, huge jet. Wow. Can't even finish my incidents. It's completely gone, chat. See, even in ranked mode, we can make friends. I probably look like a dirty, filthy free-to-play player with my default Rocket League skin. I don't know. Maybe if there was like, if they add the Back to the Future DeLorean, maybe I'd waste my money. Maybe I'd commit consumerism for that. But like, I don't want to spend money on something I don't care about. Wow. It's like I'm top of the world. I accidentally hit someone. Oh no. Drive up the hill to make a deal with God. Yo! Yo, why? Why? Ah! I was just trying to be friendly. Okay. Car's gone. Unfortunate. Okay, kind of like hide behind that bush and then go into this bush. It's genius. Go, my chud. Thank you. This is my son. He is beautiful. Alright. I don't think I want to zip line up there. Oh. The like cape clipping in and off like that is weird. She does that. I'm pretty sure it does that with all of the packlings. It's just kind of odd with the how like bright and like visually there this cape is. Look at this, guys. This is where everything went wrong. See, now they're dancing. Go, my chud son. Oh. Oh, wow. Power of friendship is real. Okay, where's my chud? Wait, where did he go? Where did he go? What'd they do with him? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, oh, they took... Okay, there's my chud. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. So there's one person not with us. Hopefully this isn't copyrighted. I don't think this is copyrighted. It's going hard. Can y'all even hear that?
Party Royale.
Okay, it's Party Royale. It's not copyrighted.
Everyone wins.
This is sweet. I got what you want. I got what you need. This is fun. Sure, at some point, 3, 5. So where's the person who's not cooperative? Ooh. Say 5. Was there that person up there? I guess that person's just trying to be a winner. I'll go say hi. Never mind. Alright. I think for the sake of remaining diligent in my duties, I think I'm going to sacrifice myself to the storm. Remember me, Jane Grey. Remember me, Rogue. I wonder if I get less stuff, though, since I'll be fine, I don't care. What is it, plus 34? Plus 28. Yeah, it was fine. That was a nice, pleasant little interaction. With these accompanying and watching requests, any role is really, of course, just to be there. I say watching, but that doesn't mean my eyes are always on the client. I may be looking at something else entirely. The clients accept this. Here's an open envelope representing a letter. I'm an amateur writer, and at the moment, I'm writing a novel. When I'm writing on my own, I often get a bit lazy, so I'd like someone to watch me. I wonder if you would sit in front of me while I work. I may say something to you occasionally, but basically, I'd just like you to sit there and pass the time. Twitterbird at Morimoto Shoji, the client was finishing off a manuscript for submission to a new writer's competition, and wanted something to keep him going. On his own, he was lazy and spent too much time on Twitter. I just sat there, reading some manga books that he provided. He said he made better progress than usual, and that it had helped him to have me, someone he didn't know, in the room, especially having explained to me his rules of working. This request said the client might talk to me on occasion, and in fact, this happens quite frequently when I am watching people work. A manga artist client said, if I have an assistant with me, they worry if I break for too long. They say things like, shouldn't we be getting back to work? It's nice to be able to just talk in a relaxed way like this. Of course, talk in the context of this do-nothing service is not a two-way process. All I can do is give basic responses, and I know nothing about clients' work. A manga artist is drawing pictures and a novelist is writing stories, but I don't know any details of their work. All I can see is across the desk is the back of their computer. It's very similar when I watch a rehearsal. The request is just for me to be there. I don't go along to learn, observe, or comment. That's why I've never hesitated to include reports on rehearsal watching on Twitter. Of course, there are times when it's awkward to do absolutely nothing. When I was watching one rehearsal, I was asked to participate for a while, as there was a scene in which an actor had to talk to a member of the audience. In those particular circumstances, I felt it was okay to be involved, as I could simply give the actor my normal, basic responses. This rehearsal was by a group of 5 or 6 who rented a room in a small community center. Just as with the writer and manga artist, having someone there they didn't know seemed to add a bit of positive tension. I like that kind of request where I'm really asked just to be there. It means I can do It means I can do something else at the same time, responding to my Twitter messages, or surfing the net. Sometimes the client gets what they want without me even accepting their request. Open envelope representing a message. Something bad happened at the beginning this year, and since then I've been unable to do anything. I've been mentally and physically exhausted. I couldn't go out and couldn't do any housework. Recently, I've been trying to get back to my old self, cleaning and making a schedule and so on. There are a lot of items in the flat, dishes, pots, and pans. I wasn't to wash them. I'll be shouting and screaming as I do it, but I really wanted to get them done. I'd like you to be beside me, or rather, hiding outside on the balcony. I simply can't do it when I'm on my own, and if I could just get these items put away, I feel like I'd be one step closer to being an ordinary human being. Twitter bird at Morimoto Shoji. A request to be with someone shouting and screaming while they did several months of dishwashing. I couldn't really face it, so I refused. But I just got a message from the client to say they'd got the dishes done on their own. Maybe mentioning it to someone had helped them to see the situation objectively and to act calmly. An unusual case in which the required effect was achieved without the requested visit. Alright, take a moment to figure out where to go. And just make a general mark there. I can already tell my throat is starting to get a little coarse here. So, that probably means that we're winding down in terms of the stream. Or maybe I just need some more water. It was kind of funny, like about 20 minutes ago, like, wow, we're almost an hour in and I haven't even noticed. But since that point, it's only been like 20 minutes and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it mentally, I'm feeling the energy, I'm feeling the creative drain, the performing arts. Which, you know, maybe after this match well, what I should do is, no matter what, I should drink some water. Like, my throat needs some water. Better late than never. Yep. It's one of my favorite backlings right here. Just like the little alien guy following you around. Is there a bike? There is a bike, but that's a bicycle. That is not what I'm wanting. Alright, let's find a bush. I mean, I can't mantle up there. That'd be pretty funny. Maybe I can... I don't think I can be on that ledge. Okay. We'll find somewhere. There has to be a bush nearby, yeah? I see one. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't think people are going to be going out of their way to that spot. Okay. Now, to give myself a brief moment to get a drink of water. Nice. I think I'll also take a moment to kind of just like look and see when this chapter would end. Oh, okay. So we got a few pages. We're on page 34, and the chapter ends on page 43. That's another 10 pages or so. I could definitely make it to that point. I'm very curious to see how long chapter 2 is. Because it will probably be smart to do this in a way where I'm divvying up the actual nonsense, you know? I don't want to cut off in the middle of everything. Yeah. So we'll at least finish chapter 1. At least. I think ideally I'd want to read even further, but I can tell that I would not have the energy to finish that. And I feel like it would be better for everybody if I let things end at a natural ending point. You know, if I'm excited to continue reading, that just means I can do it tomorrow, which will be epic and grand. Which tomorrow I think I'm supposed to be doing something with a friend, so I don't think I will be streaming. But could happen. You never know. And maybe I just continue streaming, but I stop the reading for today. You know? That's also a possibility. Okay. So we were reading about the guy needing to wash their dishes, kicking and screaming, and about how he achieved it afterwards without the request being fulfilled. This was a typical watching request. However, the client was going to ask to However, the client was going to ask me to be outside on the balcony because the flat was unhygienic and there might be bugs. I'm not a cleanliness fanatic, but I decided I'd better refuse, as I do have a problem with unhygienic environments and I don't like bugs. But a few days later, the client sent me a message saying everything's cleared up and there weren't any bugs. Thank you very much. My feeling is that by telling me they decided to tidy up the kitchen, they'd trigger a change in attitude, which enabled them to get it done. I knew the reason they didn't tidy up wasn't because they weren't too busy, but because of an obstacle within themselves. A problem of some kind had put their head in a spin, and they couldn't settle down to anything. I guess writing a DM helped them control their thoughts, gave some order to the chaos, and perhaps made it easier to take action. Anyway, in this case, Do Nothing Rental seems to have functioned as a kind of catalyst simply through messages on Twitter. An extreme example of doing nothing. Here's another case where there was a positive outcome in spite of my refusing Twitter request. On December 23rd, 2019, I got the same request from 3 different people. It was the Emperor's birthday, and as every year, he was going to wave to the public in the Imperial Palace grounds. Each of the requests was to accompany the client to this event. I wasn't free that day, so I turned them all down, but I was rather excited to get multiple requests for the same thing. So I reported it on Twitter, to which someone responded, "Why don't they all go together?" The 3 of them saw this as a suggestion, and in the end, that's what they did. So their hopes of going with someone to the palace were fulfilled after all, without my even being there. It certainly wasn't an outcome I'd expect, and it was interesting to see the kind of ripple effect Do Nothing Rental can have through Twitter. One client said to this Do Nothing service was like a wild card you could play once in your life. Or if you didn't play it, it acted as a good luck charm. Well, I don't mind how often I am played, and I think I'd say that, rather than a lucky charm, I'm more like an escape route. But if people feel Rental Person's existence gives them any kind of strength, I'm really delighted. Twitterbird Morimoto Shoji. Now and then, I get requests to do things like taking photos, helping tidy up, or buying something. I stubbornly fend them off. Don't forget, there are other ways of renting people. If you want someone to do something for you, try Asan Rental. According to its website, Asan Rental rents out middle-aged men who mistakenly think they're cool. Prices from 1,000 yen an hour. They're at your service for chats, confidences, and running errands. I'm sometimes asked by clients and followers where I see the line between doing nothing and doing something. It's very difficult to explain. I don't have some kind of internal rulebook. All I can say is that I decide case by case. Though I can't give a comprehensive definition of what I will do, I can give examples of what I won't do. Refuse any case where it looks as though I'll have to use my own judgment. Good evening, what are you reading? I thought you were recording for a YouTube video. Nope, Manua, I am actually... you are joining in the middle of my first Fortnite pacifism storytime stream, where I am reading a book to the chat, while also playing ranked Fortnite. I'll respond to this chat because it's fun, as well as, being about an hour and 26 minutes in, I feel like now's a good time to repeat some things. I am reading Rental Person Who Does Nothing, a memoir by Shoji Morimoto. It's this book about this guy who opened up a business where people can hire him to just be there. Like, he goes there and he does nothing. And it's kind of a memoir where he's just talking about his life doing that. It's been a really interesting read. I'm having a lot of fun. My voice is Like my throat feels a little coarse, so we're definitely winding down a bit here. But I'm glad you're here. But thinking of like recording for a YouTube video, that is something I'm planning to do. Unless I figured this reading went to complete and utter garbage, I was thinking I could just upload this on YouTube as some sort of like background noise for people. And I think it reaches that bar. I think I'm not gonna just completely throw this in the garbage after it's done. There's been a few hiccups here and there, mostly with just saying something wrong. Most notably being foreign names, because there's a lot of like Japanese names in here, and I can struggle to get words right when they're in my own tongue, much less when they're in a tongue that is not mine. But we're kind of reaching the end of chapter 1 of that book. And I'll probably... I don't know if I'll call it a stream, but I'm definitely going to stop reading at the end of chapter 1. Like, I think the mental expense of reading what has now been 36 pages aloud, it's definitely having its toll. But I hope you're having a good day, Manua. I hope you're having a grand, spectacular, spankin' day. I hope you're having a spankin' day. Is that weird to say? To wish somebody's day was spankin'? I don't know. Oh, Chud! Wait, does it get rid of the... What? It keeps the alien back bling despite having a Chud on my... Oh, that's sick. I know for a lot of them it gets rid of it. Oh. That's weird. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to get in the back left. Now we can go back to being idle. Ooh, top 14, not bad. Though I can't give a comprehensive definition of what I will do, I can give examples of what I won't do. I refuse any case where it looks as though I'll have to use my own judgment. This includes lining up to buy something or running an errand, even where I have been given directions or orders. On the other hand, I would probably accept a request to keep a place for a cherry blossom viewing party, assuming that I'd go with the client and they choose the place in the park they wanted to reserve. Then I would be nothing more than a person sitting on sheeting until the party started. Sometimes I have an awkward situation where I accept a request that sounds okay, only to find I've made a mistake. The main reason is that I get fed up with it. I once accepted a request to line up with someone outside a pachinko parlor. I did it once, and that's enough. I don't want to do it again. In a lot of jobs, being able to repeat the same kind of activity is a selling point. As I mentioned earlier, this was the case when I was a freelance writer. I've written this kind of article in the past, so please give me more of the same. But with this do-nothing service, I quite often rejected requests on the basis that I've done it before. For example, I received consecutive requests to go to... Uh-oh. Alright. Do you think I'm chill? Do you think they see me? Oh wait, I need to drive away anyway. Let's just go ahead and do that. It'll be so weird. I like genuinely enjoying everything this book is presenting. It's been a really fun read. Sometimes I get a little upset when I'm starting to get into the book and then all of a sudden I'm having to engage with Fortnite. Like, it's definitely... This stream has been quite some fun, but it's definitely not without its issues. In terms of pacing as its own thing, and in terms of me enjoying it. Overall, I am having a great time. Okay, getting a sword here, that's great. Gives me a lot of movement options. It's practically the only quote-unquote weapon that I will pick up, because if it isn't used for some sort of utility or healing, then I just don't want to even pick it up. This is great. I didn't mean to drive through your bush, man. Oh, God. I'm out of here. I want to live. I want to live. Top 10, that's good. That's good. Hopefully that fish stick made it out all right. I think he was just trying to do a heal off in the final circle there. Which, if I was doing a more involved pacifist strategy, that's what I would be doing. Oh, this is so funny. This is great. Okay, please let me grab that. I wonder if I can, like... Uh-oh. That was about to be bad. Just saying, I wonder, I was kind of hoping there was like a spot I could like tuck myself under the log there, but apparently there's not. It looks like a bush that has somebody in it. And ended up being fine. Okay. For example, I received consecutive requests to go to card game tournaments, where players must participate in groups of 2. I told the second client that I'd had exactly the same request before, and that if I got a different, interesting sounding request for the same time, I'd prefer to accept that one. I hoped that would be okay. The client said that it would be fine. In the end, I didn't get another request, so I went with the client to the tournament. I have turned down a number of requests to go to pop concerts too. I don't know much about music, and most of the concerts I've been asked to go along to have been by artists I've never even heard of. At first I thought it might be fun, but it wasn't really. If you're not interested, you're not interested. The range of artists was impressive, but once I was used to that, I got a bit bored and lost my enthusiasm for going at all. I might feel differently if the concert is by a famous artist that I've even heard of, like Morning Musume or Paul McCartney. So again, it's case by case. Alright. I will say, one of the issues with running with the sword, a lot of this like late game stuff comes down to hoping that people respect my kindness. You know, like they go, oh, this fella, he don't mean no harm. He's chill. Me running around with the sword kind of does the opposite of that. Is this a better sword? Thank you. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm chill. It's kind of not where I needed to go, but that'll be fine. That's not nice. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Maybe, just maybe, no, nothing. I'm just trying to live, chat. I'm living. I'm still here, chat. That might be the same poison ivy from earlier. They might be a similarly gamer, you know what I mean? Yes, fight for me! Fight for me! Wait, no, I'm not supposed to want this. Which, if that is the same person, playing with random skins probably hurts my chances of repeated friendship. But that's okay. I don't want to rely on that too much anyway. I can get to second. Dude, I need the hug emote. That's what I need. I don't have it. I don't have the hug emote. No way. Friendship, Spider-Man. I'll stay away from the guns. I don't want to scare you. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was an accident. Oh, that was about to be bad. Oh, that was about to be bad. Hopefully that doesn't... Whew. That would have been bad. That would have been bad, Chad. That would have been tough. It's part of the reason why I don't want to, part of the reason why I don't want to, have weapons in my inventory because of stuff like that. But then since, you know, that's a good get out of jail free card. So I don't, I don't want to, like, just not have that in my inventory. Okay. Look at that. That's my second place tonight. I believe I've also placed 6th as well. And there was one match where I didn't even crack top 25, I think, maybe. Or maybe it was top 25. I don't know. I'm getting myself a little bit to drink here before I continue with the book. I also had a message on Discord. I might check that, just make sure nobody's dying. No one's going, help me, I swear I'm dying. All right. Fortnite Battle Pass. I just shit out my ass. I booted up my PC 'cause I need that freaky Fortnite Battle Pass. Sorry guys, just had a random urge to burst into song as I open up this book. So as we're continuing, Paul McCartney. So again, it's case by case. An open envelope representing a message. I'd like you to come for tea at a cafe or restaurant, talk a bit, and watch me while I do some task online. I've got to think seriously about getting married, but I can't get started. I suppose I'm used to my life as it is, and don't want to face reality. I have a lot of friends who are single, and I find it difficult to let on that I'm looking for a husband. I'm the type to say that I can live without a man. I know I can't go on like this, but when I'm on my own, I just follow my geeky hobbies. Or, if it's a day off, I celebrate by staying in bed, so nothing gets done. Could you watch me as I do some computer work, get info together, register on marriage partner sites, send out messages, apply for parties, etc.? Ah! I'll be in agony while I'm doing it, so it'd be great if you could just talk a little. Alright. Let's see. I don't want to get too near here. Maybe if I can get a little over there. Yeah, that'll do, that'll do. Or, I can just leave the character auto-running like this and see where it takes me. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm on controller. I could just double-click. There we go. Let's see where it takes me. Twitter bird at Morimoto Shoji. A woman wanted me to watch her as she started her unenthusiastic husband hunting activities. She applied herself steadily to the task of registering with agencies, etc. She screamed, like in her DM, every 10 minutes or so. At one stage, she made a mistake with an app, clicking like for a man she wanted to skip past. She stared up at the ceiling and looked very upset. I had a great afternoon. I had a great afternoon tea and really enjoyed myself. When I used to go to the Philosophy Cafe, I had fun listening to people I didn't know, and I feel similarly when I'm dealing with accompanying requests. As rental person, of course, I only give basic responses, but clients generally talk about this and that, and I really enjoy hearing what they have to say. In fact, this is another reason I don't prioritize concerts. While the music is playing, clients can't say much. I want to make it clear that I don't feel any stress at an event I'm not interested in. If I'm at a concert, I'm always near the client or next to them if seats are reserved. But that doesn't mean I have to be looking at the stage if I don't want to. At the moment, though, I'm getting more and more requests to go to concerts, and generally, I refuse them. Rather than fill my schedule with concerts, I prefer to keep time free for other requests. If concert requests stopped coming completely, and then one suddenly came up again, I might accept it. Okay, go this way. Ooh, cherry blossoms. I might accept it. The idea might seem fresh again, so the line between what I accept and what I turn down is a vague one. Some people may be doubtful that writing a book can be classified as doing nothing, but as I said in the foreword, the actual work is being done by someone else. All I have provided are simple responses to questions. When I say simple, I mean they're based on what I already know. I haven't done any special preparation for the book. Okay, stop. I haven't done any special preparation for the book. It's just a series of those simple responses. From that point of view, I think that for me, it really is doing nothing. Twitterbird, Ed Morimoto, Shoji. When I left an apartment halfway through because I wasn't interested, the client blocked me. I've only once ended an appointment early because I wasn't enjoying me. Oh my goodness, I'm just... Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna take a moment to just kind of roll my tongue through the cheek. Kind of just separate my mouth from the words that it is blorbing out. Okay. I've only once ended an appointment early because I wasn't enjoying it. The client asked me to attend an event they'd organized. It involved a number of people going up in turn onto a podium and talking about a dream they wanted to turn into reality. The audience assessed their content and presentation skills. The person who got the best assessment would receive support to make their dream come true. There was nothing suspicious about the event at all. Everything seemed entirely proper and genuine. But the moment the organizer started his introductory speech, I felt uncomfortable. I am sure there's nobody in the room who doesn't have a dream, he said. Every one of us thinks about the future. Not sure I do, I thought. His words felt pushy and repressive. After about half an hour, I began to think, if I stay here any longer, I'll end up writing something negative on Twitter. So I sent the client a message saying I was sorry, I wasn't in the mood and was going to leave early. I'd pay my own travel expenses. I received an acknowledgement, but then my account was immediately blocked. I feel very sorry about what happened. It was stressful for me to leave halfway through, but I felt the burden of staying would have been even greater. Why did I think this talk of dreams pushy? Looking back, I think it was kind of prejudice. My impression is that people who talk about dreams in such a public way take a very moralizing stance, that a dream should be for the benefit of others, for the benefit of the world. At the event, one of the speakers said they wanted to support disadvantaged children in Africa. Of course, it's best if children living in harsh conditions are helped, but I don't think I'd want to talk to someone like that. Someone who could stand up and tell an audience about their philanthropic dreams. I wouldn't know how to react. I'd feel the pressure of all that goodwill. That doesn't mean I have a negative feeling about all dreams. If I was asked what my dream is, I'd respond immediately. Living without doing anything. That's what I want. It's not for the benefit of anybody else. I think that's enough for a dream. Perhaps it's unkind of me, but when I listen to people sounding off about their grand dreams, I tend to be suspicious that they're looking for praise. Normally, when people talk about a dream in this sense, they're referring to something to be achieved in the future. So being asked about dreams can be depressing for people, forcing them to think about the future. My dream of doing nothing is already a reality. So in fact, it is a dream of keeping things as they are. Why shouldn't a dream focus on the here and now? Why is there an assumption that it must be about the future? Though I don't like looking ahead, I once had a request from a university student who wanted me to listen to his worries about the future. As usual, most of the time I only responded in the most basic ways. But when he asked me, "Is there anything you would advise me to do while I'm still a student?" I said, "No. I don't think you have to do anything." This reply seemed to be what rental person should say. It was also what I really felt. And that is the end of chapter 1. That's the end of chapter 1, doing nothing. I really want to keep reading here. Like I really do. Like I am invested in this book. I don't want to say at the edge of my seat here because this what this is. It's a memoir about somebody who goes around doing nothing. But what I am is invested. I'm extremely invested about what this book is and what he is saying about his experiences and how that relates back to the human experience. Like this book is great. It is everything I thought it was going to be when I picked it off of my local library bookshelf. But it's also more. And like that's like the best thing you can hope from anything, really, is that it's everything you hoped it would be and then more. You know, like when something's everything you hope it'll be, it's like, oh, sweet, this met my expectation. That's great. Good. Glad that I'm enjoying it as much as I thought I would. But then when something goes above, it's like, whoa. Wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know? Like, that's the best kind of experience. And it's almost kind of funny, because if that's like the best kind of experience, then wouldn't you hope for that sort of level of enjoyment every time? But then it just becomes what you expected it to be. You know? And I think that's what makes it unexpected. Because like when you're having that sort of conversation with yourself about what you would want from an experience, it's something entirely different. Or all that and more. Anyway, getting a little carried away, a little off topic about it, but that is great. Like, I want to keep reading. The thing that's stopping me is that my throat is starting to scratch. It's starting to, you know, about 30 minutes ago, I was talking about my throat feeling coarse, and right now it's starting to hurt. It's a little itchy, a little scratchy, a little tough. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice compared to earlier, but it's there. I assure you it's there. Now the real question becomes, is this where the stream ends, or... I think this is where the stream ends. I think it's important to not only leave my audience wanting more, but leave myself wanting more too. Like, I am eagerly looking forward to what this next reading session could be. What does this book contain? Because it feels like we're only scratching the surface of what this book really is. Okay, please don't get hit by a car. That would be great. Okay, we're good. It'll be interesting to see if I leveled up any while playing today. I think I did. I think I leveled up maybe like a few times. Bush. Take refuge here. Yay. Rental person who does nothing. So we're about a fifth through the book here. That's way more progress. That's at least double the progress I was expecting to make today. I don't know, I guess part of me was expecting that I would open this book, I'd read a few pages, and I'd go, this is stupid. This is bad. I don't want to do this. This was a terrible idea. And I think ultimately, it still has the potential to be all of those things. But despite the potential to be all of those things, you know, an undiscovered amount of success to be found with this concept, I had a lot of fun reading this. I had a lot of fun narrating this. I had a lot of fun putting myself into this guy's shoes. I had a lot of fun, like, I talked about this in a different break about being, like, entertaining myself while also being the entertainer. And that has been a great deal of fun for me today. Like, I'm sitting here in my brain, the stream's not even over yet. I'm thinking about, okay, when do I do this again? When does this happen again? Because this was great. Those of you who have enjoyed what we're listening to today, maybe you want to go find it for yourself or do some background research. The book is Rental Person Who Does Nothing, a memoir by Shoji Morimoto. Huh. Man, I want to read this book so bad. I want to read this book so bad. Like, part of me is like circling in my brain of like, maybe I read the book more on my own, and then, you know, the next stream I just continue reading it. But I know that I'll lose the spark, I'll lose that sort of drive, and then it won't be as enjoyable for me. Maybe it'll make a better product, but that isn't what this is supposed to be. This isn't supposed to be some refined product that turns into this great amazing thing. It's supposed to be raw, it's supposed to be unfiltered, and quite frankly, doing it the way I'm doing it is the most capable way of achieving that feeling, as well as stealing someone else's Nissan Fair Lady. And they just got cars. Fortnite just got licensing agreements. It just looks like a car I would love to have driven. Which, hey, I get to drive it now, right? I remember, this would have been years ago now. I did a stream called the Fortnite Taxi Stream. And I think I stole this bit from somebody else, but I just went around driving. I went around driving, and if I ran into anybody, I'd stop, I'd honk, and then if they got in the car, we'd drive around together. And then if they didn't get in the car, they'd probably shoot at me, and I would drive away, and I would have to go repair my tire. Man, 2024. 2024 has had some rough stuff, you know? It's had its difficulties. It's had a lot of moments where, quite frankly, I just felt like dog doo-doo. And I think the crazy part is that I went into 2025 thinking that, you know, this is where the fruit of my labor comes in. It felt like a lot of 2024 was taking the road less traveled. And it's like, this is where taking the road less traveled, that's where the fruit of my labor is going to come into effect. That's when I'm really going to start seeing, like, the changes I've made have positive results. And I really went into 2025 thinking that, and really went into 2025 hoping that. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. I'm sorry. I really went into 2025 expecting that. But the thing is that 2025 was just worse. It's been just difficult, man. I was kind of expecting a lot of the things I do to make 2025 easier. But it feels like really it just folded in on itself and instead make things harder. But that's okay. I'm getting through it. And, you know, there hasn't been this grand change. There hasn't been this grand change. But there's been a lot of great, yielding little moments that have delivered me a lot of gratitude, and a lot of dopamine, a lot of serotonin, a lot of the happy words. And I'm grateful for that. And oh man, just thinking about everything that I'm gonna have to deal with going forward. Not great. But there's so much more to that. I'm like, oh wow, I'm excited to do that. And this stream has been one of those things where I was like, oh, I really want to do this. In fact, I was wanting to do it before this year even began, and I just kept pushing it off. And it didn't get done until I sat with myself and I said, no matter what, I'm going to do this stream. Because I kept sitting down, I kept saying, like, eventually I'll do this stream. And then I'll get to it, and then something comes up. Maybe I spend time with friends. Maybe I got some freelance work to do. Maybe I have responsibilities. You know? Oh, that's the friend. Is there a gas station? I don't think there is. I think we're screwed, chat. Oh, we're screwed. I'll be fine, though. I lost a little bit of track of the train. My train of thought. But going back to it, what I can largely say is that I'm very grateful for these little moments. And like, if you feel like you're struggling with purpose or motive or any of that stuff right now, maybe you feel alone, maybe you feel like shit, Because that's what a lot of 2025 has been like for me. What I'm trying to say here is enjoy these little moments. And more importantly, create these little moments. Allow yourself, give yourself the time, give yourself the space to try and do something new. You know, sometimes you can feel stuck in a rut. Sometimes you can feel miserable. Sometimes you can feel like all of these horrible things. What it takes to lift you up, even just the slightest a bit, is trying something new. Going out of your way to do something you love. Yeah, for me, I love Fortnite. Yeah, baby, I love Fortnite. Yeah, I love Fortnite. Streaming Fortnite. What the hell was that? Anyway. I am going to finish this match. And then I'm probably going to sign off through the stream. Anybody stopped by, visited, chatted, viewed. It's great having you. If more, even more so if, like, for example, you did it, even more so, you're doing this on YouTube right now. Whether you're watching the stream VOD or, I don't know, whatever. Alright, I'm gonna just chill right here. Find the counter. If someone kills me, that's their decision. They can have it. I'm very excited to continue this book, and I mean, won't be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? And it won't be for Friday. Probably won't be Saturday. It'll probably be Sunday. It'll probably be Sunday before we do another stream like this. And that's okay. I'm down. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be later than that. But the important thing is that I want to do it. Let me go close this door. That's tough. I don't think I'm getting much help here. Oh shit, get the shield. If I could end on a second place, that'd be great. Go. Alright. Hey, you could have hugged me beforehand. You could have hugged me beforehand. You could have hugged me beforehand, man. I can't hug you if I'm dead. Where's my hug? Where's my hug? Alright. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a good night. Gold 2? Oh my god, chat, we're gold 2. Okay, so I think it's worth it going for second place because it gave me a lot for that second place placement, even though it's like Survivor 3 up to 10 players there, so. Yeah. You know what? Let's have a victory lap. Not so much that it's in another game, but let's go back to the lobby together. Let's see what I got. Let's see Let's see how much levels and nonsense I got within the 2 hours of streaming. Oh, my game froze. No way, my game froze. Okay, it's back. It froze briefly. Floppy bones, cool. That's cool. A little weird. Kind of weird posing there. Oh, I like this skin a lot. So I'm chill with that. So I think I leveled up 3 times then. Or maybe that's 4. Yeah, 4, because it's this. Okay. Sweet. 4 levels. Not bad. Thank you for joining today. Have a good stream. Or